And so the start is here, and so we face the 13th review. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case. This is the 13th review. This is the 13th review. Here we are, we've made it to number 13. Unlucky number, but fantastic film. So, Alice in Wonderland. What do we think about that one? It's complete and utter madness. I'm sure I said this about another film. Well, Pinocchio, the fact that it goes so insane. It doesn't even scratch the surface of Alice in Wonderland. It's a Disney adaptation of the Lewis Carroll novel. It starts off Alice in the gardens of her house, very big house, daydreaming while her sister is like reciting history from a book. Her sister then like slates her for having such a stupid imagination and needs to like come back to reality. So Alice starts talking to her like kitten, saying that there is another like existence called Wonderland where there is no limits and there's no like rational thinking. It's just whatever you want it to be. Whilst doing this, she sees a rabbit in a waistcoat with a pocket watch rushing around saying, "I'm late." So she stands up and chases the rabbit to try to see where it's going, and she follows him into the rabbit hole, falls down a huge hole where her dress then expands and she floats gently. She gets to the bottom and the rabbit has just run through this door. She tries to get out and it's locked. The doorknob then starts talking. The door is tiny, enough, like big enough for a rabbit. It says she should drink the potion on the table. It says, "Drink me." She drinks it and she goes small enough to get through the door. She didn't realise the key for the door was actually up on the table and now she's too small. So she eats this cookie that says, "Eat me," and she turns into a giant. She then starts crying, massive giant tears, and starts flooding the room. By this point, this is the start of the film, and you're already thinking, what is happening here? What is happening? Because it's just, it's literally like Lewis Carroll had sat down with his pen and paper, started writing, and then taken every single sentence and put a completely different, wacky like twist to every sentence, and that's made for literally everything that happens in the film. Even the language that they use is just pure insanity. So she's crying, the doorknob then says, "No, drink the potion again and it'll make you small." She drinks the rest of the potion, she turns tiny, falls into the bottle, and the door opens for her and she like sails out on her tears in this little boat, in this little bottle, sails out of the door. So she's out and she's chasing the rabbit. She meets Tweedledee and Tweedledum that tell her this story. They're two like twins, little bald guys. She quickly shakes them off. I'm sure they tried to con her at some point. She shakes them right off. She finally gets to the rabbit's house. I'm late. And she goes in, and the rabbit thinks that he is her maid and sends her to get something for him. She eats a cookie again and grows into a giant, and like her head is in the top of the house, her legs are like poking out of the front of the house, and the rabbit is like doesn't know what to do. Everybody who sees this thinks she is a monster, and they try to burn down the house with her in it to kill the monster. She gets out. It's exhausting to watch, just because you need to wrap your mind around everything that happens. It's even exhausting to try and talk about. You realise a lot more how crazy it actually is when you're talking about it. She drinks the shrinking potion and turns into the size of an insect, and she walks away. They don't know where she's gone. She meets these flowers who sing her a song, and then they reckon that she's actually a weed, and so they chase her away. She obviously then wants to be a normal size again, and she meets a caterpillar that smokes from a shisha pipe, who's very wisdomous. I don't think that is a word. Full of wisdom, I'm going to go with. He offers her one of his mushrooms to grow back to a normal size, and that works. And she takes a few more with her just in case it happens again. She then meets the Cheshire Cat, who advises her. The Cheshire Cat, who is a cat that appears out of nowhere, teeth first, and then, starts to spit eyes. Tells her to go to meet the Mad Hatter at the tea party. So she does that. She gets there, they're having a chat about literally nothing. There's the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, the Dormouse, and then the White Rabbit shows up, and the Mad Hatter and the March Hare smash his pocket watch up because they think that he's absolute nonsense, and they kick him out of the tea party. Alice has got sick of it by this point, and she wants to go home. She then realises she does not know where she is. She doesn't know where to go home, as she is in some dreamland. Cheshire Cat shows up again out of nowhere and advises her to go to the castle to meet the Queen of Hearts, who's an evil woman. She's a classic, like, olden day monarch who, as soon as you anger her, she orders for your beheading. She has a husband, the King of Hearts, who is very feeble and cowardice. So she gets there, and the Cheshire Cat, the pesky cat that he is, pulls a prank on the Queen and then disappears, and the Queen thinks it was Alice and orders for a trial, for execution, because it's an unfair trial. So Alice then eats the mushrooms that the caterpillar provided her with, and grows like a giant, and starts shouting at the Queen, telling her how horrible she is. but then the mushrooms run out. She goes back to her normal size, and the Queen is furious. Queen then immediately orders for her execution, and Alice runs away, and a lot of Wonderland. She's in Wonderland, by the way. This is Wonderland, if you didn't get that from the title. You must have got that. This is Wonderland, and a lot of the Wonderland characters are then chasing her to bring her back to be executed. She gets to the door. She like cries for the doorknob to let her in, and the doorknob says like, "You're just dreaming. You just need to wake up." And this wakes her up actually, and she's still sat in the gardens with her sister. It's basically a story showing the importance of reason and logic, because otherwise it would be pure madness. That is the meaning behind this story. My favourite character is the White Rabbit, Hamlet, and the Mad Hatter, because they are very standout. They're very wild, and they are hilarious, very hilarious. The tea party is easily my favourite scene. So much crazy stuff happening. There's just tea and food flying everywhere in people's faces. I don't think one drop of tea or piece of food is actually consumed at the tea party. There's plates flying, but it is a good adaptation. I know that they tried to adapt it in the 30s and tried to do a live action mixed with animation, like they did on the Three Caballeros and things like that. Didn't go down well, so they scrapped it, and then they did this, which is definitely like one of the greatest adaptations of the book that there is. I prefer this to the live action that they did recently. It's very good though, isn't it? It's very good, isn't it? I like the madness of the film, because it's just totally different to any other film really. There's no... Of course there is like structure and stuff to it, but they structure it in a way that it seems like there isn't a structure. I say structure too many times. Structure. There is a structure, but there isn't a structure, and it's pure madness. So there's my thoughts on the film, my little review there. What do you think? Do you want to argue with me? Do you want to praise me like you should? Rate it, do whatever you want. Downstairs, do it. I want to know how you feel about Alice in Wonderland. If this is your favourite film ever made, not just by Disney, ever made, tell me. I love that information. But put something. Put whatever you want down there. Most importantly, there's two very important things. You need to subscribe, otherwise you won't see all the other fantastic videos that we upload. You won't know when they're getting uploaded. So subscribe. It's just easier for us both, isn't it, really? And you need to be clicking them thumbs. Click them thumbs. I love a thumbs up. If there's one thing I love in this world, it's a thumbs up. Get that clicked. But thank you for dropping by. If you haven't seen all the other reviews, go watch them. They're there. They're there. They'll be in your related videos, wherever it is. Which side is it? One of them. Next up. If it's not there, then it's a con, isn't it? But find them. Click on our page, they're all there. Along with our trip to Orlando, a lot of days in the parks there, fun videos. If you want to learn how to draw some Disney characters, I've so far drawn Buzz Lightyear, the Genie, Olaf, and very recently drew Tinkerbell, and the entire video was missing, so I had a little cry about that one. And then, but the colouring and rendering video is still there, so if you want to do some cool techniques on how to colour Disney characters, go look at the Tinkerbell one. Got uploaded yesterday. I like it, I think it's pretty decent. But yeah, there you go. There's links downstairs. If you just go downstairs, there's links, Twitter, Instagram, daily updates there on Disney, Orlando, Universal, events in Orlando. It's all there. You just need to follow us. That's all it takes. It's one click. It's just easy. It's easy. But anyway, tomorrow is number 14. It's another big film. We're in such a good time at the moment. So many great films. So just be prepared. Be prepared for the best. And thank you.